Yo, if you guys are interested in this video, but you don't want spoilers, you can actually watch like half of this video. There's no spoilers at the start of it, and because I actually talk about why you should watch iZombie, and then I get into the review, and I definitely say like, alright, spoilers right here. So you can watch up the video up until then. So yeah, at least watch half of this, or watch all of it if you're not the person that kind of cares about spoilers. But definitely watch the show. Roll the intro! What's going on, guys? So I usually film these videos standing up, but I'm kind of pressed for time because I'm about to leave out of town for a couple of days. I'm trying to get as much footage filmed as blah, 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 whatever. Let's jump right into it. So, this is my first ever iZombie review, and I can't believe I've never covered this on my channel, and it... That was blasphemy coming out of my mouth because I've never covered this damn show, and it is one of my favorites. That is right! I'm not even lying. This is one of my favorite shows. If somebody put a gun to my head and was like, you gotta pick between The Flash and iZombie to watch for the rest of your life, I'd say iZombie. What? That is 100% true because this show has everything, guys. Like, it's such a good freaking show, and I'm gonna review the episode in a little bit, but for those of you guys that have not jumped on the iZombie train, what are you freaking waiting for? This is such a good show. Like I said, it has everything. It has action. It has comedy. The comedy is gold on this. It has drama. It has various types of acting. I'm serious. Like, if you guys that are very, like, Flash lovers, if you love the actor that plays Harrison Wells, how he has to play various types of different Harrison Wells because of the multiverse, that is iZombie on steroids. Freaking Rose McIver is brilliant. I don't know how the girl hasn't won an Emmy yet for this show. She is just so good on this show because she plays literally a different person every episode. Let me drop some knowledge on it if you don't know what this show is about. It's about, one, zombies, because that's in the title, but more specifically, in the freaking origin of this, the reason why Rose McIver is a zombie is because she went to a party, there was freaking some drugs there, and this energy drink called Max Rager, and people were pairing that together and they become zombies, and she got scratched by a freaking zombie that did this to her, and that is why she's a zombie now, and the only way she can survive and be somewhat normal is by eating brains, and that is why she works at a morgue now. Well, the downside to gnawing on some brains is that you get the personality of that person's brains that you're eating, which until freaking leads her to actually start acting like these people, and that is why she is somebody new every freaking episode, and it is brilliant, and she uses these newfound powers for good and solves murder mysteries because she works in a freaking morgue, so you know when people are murdered or they die or they find their freaking bodies, they take them to a morgue and they gotta, you know, take out all their organs and shit and their brains, and then she eats it and she gets their memories and freaking solves crimes with freaking Clive, who's this dude right here, and their dynamic together is just really awesome. From beginning to start, or I should say from beginning to like where it's at right now, their relationship has grown so much and it's really awesome, and you just definitely gotta watch this show. Also, you got my main man, Ravi, who is the comedy relief in this show, and he is freaking brilliant. Also, follow him on Twitter because the dude's Twitter is freaking gold. He is awesome. Then you got the man meat. Yeah, I said it, and yeah, that might be hurtful, but see, guys get objectified too, ladies. That guy is Major, and Major is awesome right now too. He is a badass at the end of season 1. Just gonna throw that out there. Really watch this show. You will see, actually, Major's a badass through every season so far. Definitely watch this series. Also, if you don't think Rose McIver is bae, which she totally is bae, you also got Peyton, who is her roommate. She's totally bae. I shouldn't even say anything else because you guys just need to start watching this show. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. This show is amazing. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the review for episode 1 of season 3. I should warn you guys, if you guys haven't seen this show, all of that stuff was non-spoilery. We're about to get a little bit spoilery right now for this episode of season 3. Okay, for you awesome people that actually watched the show, what did you think of this freaking first episode? Man, I swear, this show is so good at leaving you with the cliffhangers for the next episode and just making you want to continue to watch and watch and watch. And I have to, one thing I'm going to call out, and I don't know if you guys noticed this in the episode after you know, hold on, I'll talk about that later. I'm just really excited to cover this show, but the episode started off with us basically at the end of season 2 when we found out that there was a whole army of zombies that knew how to, I guess, kill people really well and how to cover up their tracks of the world finding out that zombies exist. And it's setting up for what's going to be a very interesting season because it's going to seem like it's going to be zombies versus humans, and there's a very strong undertone about this show right now that I'll explain at the end of the video. So basically the episode is everybody kind of coming to terms with their own things. We have Major and Liv and Clive trying to figure out what they're gonna do about the whole situation of, you know, the army boss lady saying that freaking, are you gonna join us? Are you gonna be with us or against us when it comes to the whole zombie revolution thing? And, you know, our group of heroes wants to actually find out what that means because, you know, they feel like, you know, they're actually living proof that humans and zombies can work well together. So while they're trying to figure that out, we have Robbie trying to get over his whole love for Peyton after he found out that she slept with the dude he cannot stand. And man, oh man, Robbie, I feel you, bro. So it totally sucks for Robbie. And then Peyton's having to deal with the whole, you know, like, she's scared of everything right now because of what happened at the end of season 2, where they tried to kill her and all of that jazz. And then she wanted to find comfort in Robbie, but he's doing his whole, like, I don't want to talk to you thing, which kind of screwed him over, which that's just part of life. You have to deal with your consequences. And she ran back to freaking, I'm forgetting his name right now, Blaine, and we all know that Blaine has taken the cure for zombies, but, I should say the second cure, which causes you to actually be human again, but you lose all your memories. So he's still doing that whole thing. He doesn't remember his past, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. You got the freaking Moby over here that's trying to, that's terrible. But you got this guy that's got the whole Moby vibe going on anyways, and he's totally against Blaine now, and he's been trying to play Blaine, and they kind of break up. But he's all like, I want my freaking money, and he does the one thing that could really get back at Blaine, and that is defrost his dad. And if you remember from season 2, freaking Blaine and his dad hate each other, but now it looks like this is going to be not necessarily the new big bad in this episode, but it is going to be Blaine's big bad because we're going to have a new zombie corporation. Basically what Blaine used to do, but he doesn't remember what he used to do. We're going to have somebody doing it on a way bigger scale now, and that's going to be Blaine's dad and freaking this Moby dude. So the zombie business is going to be thriving on top of the whole freaking military zombies versus humans going on thingamabobber. Like I mentioned earlier, Clive, Liv, and Major want to find out what the whole plan is for these military zombie peeps. And they go and they, you know, do like an open house or whatever and get the whole tour of what they plan on doing. And everybody kind of has mixed emotions about it. Like Major knows why they're trying to do what they do. And he has, like, you know, he has a good reason on why he can agree with them. And we saw at the end of the episode, he joins up with them, which was pretty crazy. You know, like I said, Major's a badass, but it's always like he makes you question like everything. But we saw throughout the episode, since he got cleared from being the Chaos Killer, everybody is going to remember him as a Chaos Killer, and he couldn't get a job anywhere because of that stigma that is on him. So he did the only thing he could do, and he joined up with the military zombie people. That was crazy, but we also saw that Clive had like an investment in this zombie military people too, because they're not just training to fight for, you know, D-Day or whatever. They're freaking also taking care of zombie children, which Clive was like, what the hell? And it turned out one of those zombie kids was somebody he knew and really cared for, so he was like, holy crap. Now Clive has like some emotional investment to actually help out this whole crew too, or to be on their side. Although he is a cop, so he's a little, you know, still on the fence about it, but that kind of puts him over the edge. And we saw later in the episode, somebody came and blasted that kid and his family away because they believed that they were zombies. And that is what sets up for this whole season, and probably one of the most interesting topics in a comic book show to date. Because if you guys don't, and I'm absolutely in love with this concept, and if you guys didn't catch on to it with this episode, the undertone for this whole episode is people versus zombies. That's the surface. But under that is exactly what's going on in society today. I cannot talk right now. And that is the whole like racial divide or the division between America right now. Of course, this happens all around the world, but with this past election, with Trump getting elected and all this other stuff, we saw a big, huge divide. Racism spiked. Hate crimes has spiked in America and all of that jazz, or it just seems like they're more polarizing. Maybe they're more talked about. I can't say that I've actually looked up all the statistics on it, but it does seem like it is more polarizing than it has been in the past. But anyways, that is a big thing going on in today's society. I cannot say that right now. And that is what iZombie is going to be talking about this whole season, because we literally just saw that somebody went into zombies' houses and killed all of them because they just didn't agree with them. We're seeing that with, the banning of refugees because, Trump says they're all terrorists and all this jazz, all that jazz. You see that with freaking Mexicans and Hispanics. They don't want Trump wants to build a wall with all this jizz, so they want to, jazz. I can't talk today. People want to build a wall to keep out, Mexico and immigrants coming in through there, although they can just come in from Canada and through boats and stuff. It still doesn't make sense. But you guys get what I'm getting at, right? Like, this show is talking about something that is going on in today's world, and it's a huge freaking issue. A lot of people, watch these shows to get away from that kind of stuff. So maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to watch a show about that. Trust me, this show is going to be way more than that. It's way more entertaining. It's so good. But that is going to be the underlying, like, freaking moral of the story, if you will, with this season. And I have to say that's freaking great. Because something a lot of you guys that are comic book readers or people that enjoy comic book movies or whatever, the one thing you may not know is that comics were started for this kind of shit. They were started to talk about very important social justice issues, and that is why they were made. They were made back during war times to kind of like, some of them were very racist. I'm not going to point that out there, but they were to be like, but a lot of them also promoted like, diversity and equality, like with each other. I mean, look at these old, DC comic books talking about how it's un-American to actually discriminate against other people. Like, that was what comic books were made for. Now, of course, over the years, we got out of war times and like things were changing and people were starting to get a little bit more accepted depending on how your viewpoints are. Actually, acceptance became a bigger thing throughout years. It's still improving, but it's still problems. You know what I mean? But anyways, comic books have gotten more into like the supernatural and super like crazy things. But some of the best stories that are being written today or that have ever been written in comic books have these social justice undertones, and they're so freaking great. Like, if you guys have ever read the comic book Injustice, that is a super freaking amazing comic, and it's about, if you haven't read it before, Superman, something happens, I don't want to ruin it, but something happens to Superman, and it causes him to go, like, super crazy, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to protect the whole world, and I don't care how they freaking deal with it. And he basically forces everybody to follow his rules, or he basically will punish them or kill them, which is pretty crazy because it's not something Superman would do, and it's like somebody that is drunk with power but thinks that they're trying to protect the world. It's kind of stuff going on. It's just, those are the best stories in comic books, and it shows you who's going against that, and just read the damn book. I didn't even explain that very well, but trust me, if you read it, you'll totally get what I'm talking about. But that is why I'm super excited for this season of iZombie, because it's something that's going on in the world today, and it's a comic book show, and it's just paying homage to old school comic book ideals of talking about social justice issues in their media. And I fucking love that, and I can't wait to see the rest of this season. I want to know, though, what do you guys think about iZombie? If you've never watched it, but you watched this whole video, are you interested in watching it? Is it not something, it's just not, part of your taste? Let me know about that. And if you are fans of the iZombie, what do you think of this first episode, and what do you think is going to happen the rest of the season? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your iZombie buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I made a little some juice, see you guys next time. Bye!